So,
Oh,
guys, Beyonce's pretty powerful.
yeah, I just found out. That was actually pretty wild. I did not know that was a thing.
Both the artist and the album. See what I did there?
Nah.
People don't know what we're talking about. We just found out, because I believe like Saturday or Friday, excuse me, was like the 7-year anniversary of like the Beyonce surprise release. Did you know that the reason the music industry now releases albums on Fridays is because of that album? Like the album dropped, and then months later, I guess everyone just had a meeting. They're like, let's just do that, because it used to be Tuesdays, and that makes sense. I remember the Billboard chart; they also switched the days. They updated, and I never knew why. And now it's apparently because Beyonce is a superpower.
I remember where I was when I found out that album came out. I was on the bus going to high school.
Ooh, let's have that conversation. No, where were you when you found out Beyonce dropped?
Honestly, I don't remember, bro. I don't.
I don't know why I remember.
I do remember watching in like homeroom. I remember watching like all the music videos, because there was a music video for every song. I remember watching the music videos in class. That was cool.
That's a good album. That's a
good album. Yeah, that's the first album I remember. It was like surprise releases. Now it's just a regular thing for artists to.
Now it's not fun anymore. It's like everyone does it. It's like, just keep it. Like
it's still fun.
It's still fun. It's still fun. It's still fun.
I actually prefer that.
I can't think of who's the last artist that did a surprise album release that you got like generally excited about. Like surprises and no promo, it just dropped. That's another thing. People would like tease an album the day before and then call it a surprise drop, when like a surprise drop is supposed to be like nothing. Boom, it's there.
Fleet Foxes did it a couple months ago.
Oh.
They like just came out with it.
I can't remember. Yeah, I don't know. That's right. That's a good point, Nnamdi. I think I wasn't excited for this, but I think Eminem did it this year too.
He did.
He just dropped it.
Wow. I keep on forgetting he dropped that album this year.
Wasn't For Your Eyes Only didn't that just come out?
No, because he did something on Instagram and he like posted
okay.
I don't think so. Yeah. Because like some people do like they'll do a thing like a week before.
Mm-hmm.
Not like months, but like a week before be like something's coming. And
yeah.
Next week something comes out.
No, is your mic plugged in? Sorry, this is behind the scenes stuff. You just sound low for me, and I don't know if that's just me or.
I think it's Avery. Do I sound fine?
Yeah, it's a little quiet, but I think it's just because you're like holding your mic a little bit.
Whoa.
There you
Hello.
go.
We're not editing that out.
There it was.
I'll bleep it. I'll bleep it.
I'll bleep. For what? Hey, I don't have a potty mouth.
Yeah,
that's not me.
I'm ignoring that. You know what? Welcome to the 97 Demo Podcast, where we give you the latest in music news, and a whole bunch along the way. Today, we're continuing our best of series. Last week we did the best of R&B. This week we're doing the best of pop. I'm almost positive Noah has listened to more pop music in the last 4 days than he has his entire life. Can't wait to get there.
Well, that's just not true. But.
Okay, well, I'm one of your 3 hosts, Nnamdi Agwamdu. Noah, you have something to say. Go ahead and introduce yourself and finish that statement.
Oh, hey guys, it's Noah McGee. I was gonna say that's just not true, because the thing with pop music is like it's impossible not to listen to it. Like half these albums, I was like, well, I've heard most of these songs before, and I was like, I didn't even know. But yeah, I'm Noah.
You just like to argue. Avery, what's up?
What's good?
We're gonna our last R&B episode was so long. I'm pretty sure we divided it into 2 parts. We may do that again today, but I don't think it's gonna be as long. So we're just gonna try to blast through everything else so we can hurry up and get to the pop music discussion. So Chance the Rapper started a trend. Last week, Chance's rapper manager was suing him. This week, Lil Wayne's manager is suing him for a similar thing, unpaid commissions. But this is interesting. It's related to the 2 lawsuits that I guess that they manage in response. Remember the whole Lil Wayne Birdman fiasco, legal dispute thing they were in? Apparently these 2 managers were involved in that. They managed those legal proceedings. They didn't get any of them recovery money, the money that Lil Wayne was able to recover. And now they're suing him. So lawsuits galore.
I wonder if more managers are going to be like, yeah, I'm not getting paid either. Or I'm kind of getting screwed over too. I wonder, you joked about it being a trend, but I wonder if it's going to be a trend.
Well, the thing about, even though the manager thing is weird, Chance the Rapper, his was a really unique case. If you read that story, it's he was acting ridiculous. It wasn't contract. It was Chance was just being ridiculous, honestly. Yeah. So I mean, while I see managers still suing artists, like that's still a good thing. Chance the Rapper specifically's thing was such a unique case. This isn't as
But
like,
I mean, at the end of the day, it had to do with them.
No, I'm not saying.
Like they didn't have.
Oh, I'm just talking about the details of Chance the Rapper's lawsuit.
Oh.
And whatnot. This one is still like, I'm not saying it's still like there's things, you know, but yeah. Lil Wayne has been like in legal disputes for the last 5 years. It feels like, you know, in terms of like how his
I feel like he just closed the Birdman one. Now he's in a whole nother one.
Yeah. So.
Because of that lawsuit, like a lawsuit led to a lawsuit. But anyway, the two managers are claiming that they didn't receive their 10% of recovery funds from the lawsuits, 10% of mass recording sales, I guess, post lawsuit or something, and then 17% in commissions from overall management. So that's probably going to be a big chunk of change if they end up getting their way in court. I'm sure they'll settle this the way they're probably going to settle the Chance one, because 10% is a lot of money when you make money. So
I don't know, bro. Chance the Rapper friends with Obama. Obama be like, hey, bro, chill on my Chance. I'm serious. Didn't he live down the street from Obama?
Maybe,
seriously. Didn't Chance the Rapper live down the street from Obama? For real?
His dad worked for him.
Yeah,
do you think Chance the Rapper has Barack Obama's phone number?
Oh yeah, for sure.
No. Yes, actually,
No.
yes.
No. Oh my God, you think Chance has Barack? Yo, B, what's up? You think that happened?
Well,
maybe not his direct, maybe not his personal cell phone, but like if he wants to get in contact.
Did Noah just cut out for you too, maybe?
Yeah, he cut out for me too. I never know if I'm frozen when it does that or if the other person is frozen.
Wait, so am I frozen? Am I frozen right
Not
now?
right now. You just like the last sentence you said cut out, so we didn't hear what your final point was.
I mean, they're two like Chicago dudes. They definitely have each other's contact.
You guys, so we have more reasons to take the Grammys. New news: we found out that Tiffany Haddish could have been the host of the Grammys Pre-Telecast, which is where they revealed all the nominations, but she turned it down because not only were they not trying to pay her, they were like, your hair and makeup is on you, any food you want is on you, you want a room, that's on you, you got to fly out here, that's on you too. Like they weren't trying to give her anything, and she said she turned it down, and I'm happy about that.
As she should have.
Good for her.
There's no reason for the Grammys not to have provided these amenities, or not even amenities, these basic needs, I guess, for hosting something.
Basic needs. That's what shakes me about this story. She wasn't asking for like a fat check. She's like, you're not gonna pay me.
Like, needed things.
They were like, no.
Okay, I think I got my Wi-Fi situation together, guys. Now, for the last 1 minute, I was like, let me just figure this out. Let me be silent. Am I good now? Am I good?
Yeah.
I'm good. Okay. Yeah, this story is crazy. I feel bad for Tiffany Haddish, honestly, bro.
Yeah, I do too.
This is really like, even though it's not like she's hosting the Grammys, like, if I feel like, I don't know, like you assume she's getting paid for this, right?
I assume anybody doing anything for anyone
it would like
in entertainment
pay for that kind of stuff, right? I don't know.
Very much true, but I think just to get the other side, so the Recording Academy put out a statement basically saying, you know, the premiere ceremony is run by, you know, us, the Recording Academy. It's not like the Grammys. The Grammys are operated by CBS. So they said that typically, because the Academy is a non-for-profit organization, presenters, performers, hosts for whatever they do is typically like they do it for free. So I guess that's their argument. Like, hey, we're a non-for-profit. We don't have money either. So
that's such a lie.
I feel like that's not
they also said that it won't have any impact on future nominations for her, but I don't know if I trust that anymore.
They should show us the books.
Right.
Yeah, I want to know.
I never thought about that. Like, how, since they're not for profit, but the Grammys makes money somehow.
They make money.
I mean, they charge for submissions. If you want to nominate your stuff, you have to pay for that. I don't think it's a lot, but I know that's the thing. There's membership dues. Like they're fine.
Grammys are like the NCAA of the music industry.
For real. And now we're in a pandemic. You don't have to do any sort of like huge live show. Like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, Avery, did you just provide an unintentional segue? Speaking of the pandemic, someone else got COVID-19.
Yeah, Ashanti got COVID-19 right before her verses with Keisha Cole. So
literally the day of.
Yeah.
At least no. Let me say we found out the day of the actual versus battle, like hours before.
Did y'all see that tweet that was like?
Yeah. I sent it. Then I sent it.
I already know which one you're talking about.
It was like
for the audience. Let them know.
There's a tweet that quoted her little thing saying she tested positive, where she was like, "I can't believe I tested positive," and it was screenshots from her Instagram of her in like all the different countries over the past few days.
Oh, I was thinking of something else. I was thinking of another tweet.
I thought you were talking about the tweet. It was someone like someone tweeted, they're like, "Can someone tell my sister they canceled the Ashanti Verzuz performance?" And it was like, I guess someone prepared a whole pre-party for it and like had food and like. Yeah, that's what I thought. No, what were you talking about?
Well, that's the crazy part too about Verzuz, is that it's supposed to be a thing where people can watch safely at their home, away from people, and people are coming together, getting wings, having a party for the thing that's supposed to be enjoyed at home safely.
There's another tweet that was like, "I hope Ashanti beats COVID-19 because she wasn't gonna beat Keisha Cole."
Dang, bro.
That one was cold.
That's cold.
So
there was a lot of other stuff too. I just don't
wait, but let's come on. You know, funny enough, I just left the barber shop and there was a whole discussion in that shop about who would win this Verzuz. And somebody was like, "It's definitely Ashanti. She has more hits." And people in there were swearing like, "Nah, Keisha got the hits too. Keisha, y'all just be forgetting. Keisha got the hits." And I was like, I think Ashanti would win, but I do think it'll be closer than people expect. I honestly think that both of them would have a hard time coming up with 20 hits.
First of all, you're in New York too, and Ashanti was, associated with Ja Rule and stuff like that. So I could see people saying Ashanti and stuff like that.
It was happening for Keisha.
Did they reschedule this?
January 9th, new date. So I don't know why they couldn't push it back a week. We're gonna wait a month.
Well, she has COVID, and they were gonna do it. I guess they wanted her.
Why couldn't they just do it remotely? Isn't that what the whole point of Verzuz was initially? Was to do it?
Yeah, that's what it was in the beginning. But it's because like I think there's too much money invested into it now. Probably that's like Apple streams.
Yeah, but maybe she's not feeling well. Maybe she's.
Well, yeah, that too. Yeah.
Like,
well, no, she posted on Instagram. Like on Instagram, she posted like, I'm so down to do it from my house. I feel fine.
But we just found out today, like 2 days from now, she could feel like crap. Like it's COVID.
That's
like
true.
so like I get pushing it back, like giving her a chance to recoup, get herself together. She could get sicker. It's possible. So
that's true.
That's true.
Y'all,
new release. So we all care about Ashanti. Shout out Ashanti and Keisha Cole.
Yeah, we do.
Whole bunch of new music this week. Kid Cudi came back, Man of the Moon 3, and I want to say that's probably like my highlight of my week personally. What?
Oh, nothing. You just sound like you're a stan. It's like
I'm not a stan.
No, it's so funny.
No, it's so funny
because me and Avery had a discussion about Kid Cudi last night.
I'm sorry. Well, this is a music podcast. We can take 2 minutes. What was the discussion about?
Kid Cudi last night? We were just talking about
we're talking about how he's a weird artist.
No, and not just that he's a weird artist. Like I think a lot of people love really mess with Kid Cudi. Like I think like us, none of us are like Kid Cudi stans. But people are like, "Oh my gosh, I love Kid Cudi." But it's like, wow, there's only like 2 albums out of his like 6 that I actually really I think are great. And it's like
for me, there's great.
Yeah.
Did you like Passion, Pain, and Demon Slaying?
Like I think the drop off from like Kids See Ghost and Man on the Moon 1 is significant to like his next
I was saying, some artists haven't hit the peaks that Kid Cudi has in terms of album quality, but there's artists who are way more consistent. And I would say Kid Cudi. I mean, I'd say Kid Cudi is not the most consistent.
I will say I appreciate his versatility because the first Man of the Moon came out in 2008 maybe 2000.
So that 8 or 9.
Yeah, and then like Kids See Ghost, which is also great, was like 3 years ago. Like he's ebbed and flowed. He has that one folk rock album that we don't really talk about, but other than that, ebbs and flows.
No, I'm saying that's not necessarily a good thing. But I'm not saying.
But he's released so many projects. He's released so many projects in between that first one and Kids See Ghost that aren't like, even close to as
4
good,
albums,
in my opinion.
I agree.
Passion, Pain, and Demon Slaying was a great album.
I know
you. That's 3 albums out of 7. That don't mean you a Kid Cudi.
Taylor Swift put out Evermore.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Evermore by Taylor Swift. She dropped that. Well, she didn't. She first announced like I'm doing a second album. She's like, oh my gosh, we just couldn't stop recording.
That was kind of a surprise release, kind of.
It was a day before.
But again, it's one of those fake ones for me because she did it 20. It was like a 24-hour and then drop. It wasn't just like a.
So she about to go number 1 again. We already know it's coming.
Avery, I know you listen. I listen to it's definitely going number 1. It'll probably have another best-selling week. She'll probably have the 2 best-selling albums of the year. Want to talk about commercial selling power like a Taylor Swift? It sounds very similar to Folklore though. Like I don't think I finished it because I made it halfway through and I was like, it feels like I'm listening to Folklore again.
More country-ish than Folklore. Like
it's
I think
roots though, right?
You think so?
Like Folklore kind of, yeah, exactly. Like Folklore kind of veered into like indie, kind of alternative, and then Evermore kind of veers more into that country kind of lane.
Isn't that like what she started off as, like a country artist? Like
Yeah.
that wasn't her thing.
Maybe
That
she's
was her
making
thing.
the full circle.
I really like it. It's cool. I mean,
Yeah, a
she
lot
can
of-
do no wrong. So
I mean, yeah, basically. I mean, yeah, to some people.
Did anyone listen to Jack Harlow?
not yet.
I'm not. I kind of.
I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna listen.
First of all,
I haven't yet.
we never-
in preparation
we
for this
never-
episode. But
You know, this is the thing though. We didn't talk about the controversy a little bit. It was a stupid controversy, but when he dropped like the album cover,
oh, that
and
was
people
dumb.
were
That was so
people,
dumb.
well, people were just hating because it was like him in like a limousine, and it was like a black leg, and people were like getting mad, and then people were like, I want to hate on this album, but I can't. It's just a clean
Have
cover.
they listened? to
I've
his
heard good
lyrics
things about
before?
it. That's what I was gonna say. I haven't listened though.
Have they listened to Jack Harlow's lyrics before?
I
Like-
mean, yeah. But I don't know. I heard a couple tracks that I didn't like, but I didn't. It was the Chris Brown and Big Sean song. I was like, oh, this is not gonna be good. But I'm gonna check it out because I was a fan of Jack Harlow like 2 years ago. I remember he had that project with Sundown on it. I forgot what it's called, but it was really good. But yeah, from Kentucky, same place as Bryson Tiller. So,
There's one more album I'm gonna ask you guys about before we just do the listening we normally do. And I just feel like because of last week, we have to talk about Chance the Rapper's The Return,
But now I thought it was just a song.
which I thought. Well, it was on this list, so it was more. It was more because there was multiple tracks, and I listened to many, so I know it was more. I think it was him and Jeremiah, like collab, perhaps.
Jeremiah.
Well, they
but
always
I listened to
they put out their Christmas stuff every year.
Oh, well, I will just say, I think it's good. I think it's a good direction. I know I kind of crapped on Are You Live when we talked about that last week. I do think the album sounds like sort of like old Chance. It's giving me coloring book Chance.
I think it is. Like, I literally think it's not new. Like, I think he's been like it's something that's been it's been on SoundCloud for a couple of years. And now I think it made its way to streaming services. This song,
Avery,
however,
I'm gonna be so sad.
this song, however, The Return, which I actually enjoyed, is new.
It's new.
But this
So he just
project
added
with
like some songs
Jeremiah,
and put it out.
he has like 2 Christmas projects with Jeremiah that have been out for like a couple of years now, but we're only on SoundCloud.
Gosh, Chance, I'm here thinking Chance is like he's back, you guys. He's back. Well, okay. Well, what else have you guys listening to?
I guess I'll go first. This real bad Boldy James and Real Bad Man. Avery put me onto this surprisingly because Boldy James is my guy, but I'm really excited about this listen. Also, this is my underground. I'm an underground tip back on that. This Science album, A Traveling Man 7. I'm excited to listen to that. And Marv 1 from Detroit, Sooner Than Later. I'm excited to listen to that too. And I'm excited. I'm not gonna take Avery's thunder. But,
I can in our joint excitement for the deluxe neighborhood album.
I need to listen to this because for Noah to like as much as you do, Avery, that means that like I'm missing
great,
out.
man. It's a great project.
So good. I also planning on listening to this Village Days EP by Terrace Martin.
Yeah, of course.
And then the song Easy by Troye Sivan with Casey Musgraves and Mark Ronson is really good too.
Ooh.
I like that lineup. Those are 3 good
The
releases.
Joy Badass song is fire too.
Oh, I need to check that out too.
What's That's fire.
Avery, did you listen to Let Me Reintroduce Myself? Oh, I feel like I should have before the pod. I forgot. The Gwen Stefani song.
I have not listened to it yet.
We're going to though. Stay tuned to next week.
Wait, and Avery and Nnamdi, y'all just skipped your guy more than mine.
No,
James
I know
Blake
James
EP?
Blake. I was gonna talk about him.
Yeah.
I like the covers. I did, but they were all covers, so I didn't feel like it deserved as much.
I mean, I think it matters.
He covered Other Side, which is one of the songs Beyonce had on the Lion King album. I like that a lot. I'm trying to think of some of the other tracks. It was like 6 cover songs.
He did the Billie Eilish song too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did Billie Eilish and other songs we've heard like Godspeed.
Yeah.
Frank Ocean.
Yeah.
Songs
Which
we've
he
heard
wrote,
already.
So
Yeah, a solid week of releases.
Yeah, make sure to listen to our playlist. Some of these songs may be on it. Quick
Might
plug. Spotify and Apple Music.
what else we got?
Charts.
So we're done. The podcast is over. I'm joking.
Well, no, this is actually, a lot of the times we do charts and sometimes it feels like it's the same old, same old. This is
Oh,
a
this
really
is
good
different.
week.
This is really good. Yeah.
So Bad Bunny. So I'll just run down the top 5, then I'll talk about why I'm excited. So Bad Bunny, Ultimo Tour del Mundo, which is the Ultimate World Tour, number 1. Plastic Crush of Miley Cyrus, number 2. BTS falls from number 1 to 3. Positions Ariana Grande sitting pretty at number 4, and Shoot for the Star, Aim for the Moon after 22 weeks, still in the top 5 at number 5. Now I'm excited about this week because Bad Bunny's album, this is his first number 1. And I didn't realize
my
that.
My guy's released 3 albums this year, and on the third one,
he's like, I'm gonna get that number one. I'm gonna get that number one.
Earlier this year,
I'm gonna get that number one.
The Letter Soup that debuted. I think that peaked at number 2.
The Letter Soup
116.
That's so disrespectful.
And is here at number 1.
This man called the Letter Soup, but I feel you on that.
I can't because I don't ever remember it. I feel that rude.
MDGQ.
Yeah.
I would like to apologize preemptively for calling.
No, this is a big deal. This is a big deal because Bad Bunny is one of the biggest artists worldwide, like international stars in the world right now. So it's pretty surprising.
Also, doesn't make music in English, and it's number 1.
It's number 1 in America.
Right. So.
And that's part of like why this is historic. I believe this is one of the first, or among I want to say one of the first fully Spanish speaking albums to debut a number 1 on the chart. I think it actually is the first. 116,000 units, very big accomplishment. And then Plastic Hearts by Miley Cyrus, we'll also give that a shout out. That was 60,000 units, but still was her highest charting release since Bangers.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. Kind of surprising, I feel, but that's
congrats to Mr. Bunny and Mrs. Cyrus.
Yeah, I want to also give a shout out. It's not in the top 5, but I want to give a shout out to number 6 by Michael Bublé. I actually wrote about the best-selling holiday albums of all time. Literally, I wrote about it.
Is this one of them?
It's one of them. You know, the crazy thing is, it sold like 5 million. This is just a little fun fact. Like, it sold like 5 million. Like, it sold like 4 million like album units, but it's not like platinum certified. Because for the like recording industries of America and stuff like that, you have to apply for it. So like, just because you sold 4 million albums don't mean you're gonna get like a platinum plaque or something like that.
Okay.
So he has like all the numbers, but it's just not platinum certified. So but yeah, that's not surprising. Yeah, we're gonna see it more on the Hot 100 in terms of all this Christmas stuff. But we're gonna start seeing Christmas, music start coming in the forefront. Like as
he's one of the few artists who gains power as the year drops.
Michael Bublé.
Yeah,
he's probably one of the 3. There's probably 3 artists that gain power.
Well deserved. He has a great voice, and obviously Carrie Underwood at number 9 with My Gift. So yeah, another holiday album. So.
Well, let me ask you, Noah, can we post that story on our Twitter? Because
sure. Yeah, we'll do that. I don't know if I think it's published. I'm not sure yet though. Dang, I don't know. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
Early preview.
Yeah. Yeah, I wrote about. Yeah, that's crazy because I wrote about a lot of these albums too. Actually, like look at all these.
Christmas
albums.
is starting. Well, let's hold on. Avery, scroll up so I can say so our audio listeners know why we're like kind of in shock. So we have Carrie Underwood, My Gift at number 9. Well, Michael Bublé at 6. Carrie Underwood at number 9. Nat King Cole, the Christmas song at 12. Charlie Brown Christmas soundtrack at 14. Mariah Carey, Merry Christmas at 15. Pentatonix Christmas album at 16. Like Dolly Parton's Christmas album at 20. So we are officially full-fledged in the holiday season, and everyone was listening to
number 28. Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, Ultimate Christmas by Frank Sinatra.
Another Pentatonix Christmas album at 32.
Yeah, so
look at it. 35.
We ain't gonna name them all, but it's a lot. So
okay, guys, I got so close to getting this Bad Bunny title right.
YHLQ MDLG 36.
Yeah. So we're definitely gonna see the Billboard charts are definitely in the Christmas spirit. So
be on the lookout for more information from our holiday music correspondent.
Oh, we're gonna do a holiday playlist. That's gonna be good.
Honestly, we should. Oh, so continuing that trend that Noah just talked about, the top 5 on the Hot 100. Shout out to 24K Golden because Mood is back at number 1.
Yeah, the fact that it's number 1 and it's this time is impressive. Yeah, like it's impressive.
Very impressive.
Number
and
3.
The song that he's blocking right now because he's number 1, but I think it may get it next week. All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey is at number 2 right now on this chart. I always like to remind people that 2 things. 1, if you see this song has been on this chart for 40 weeks, it came out 20 years ago, and that's because it only has its power during the winter, during Christmas. And then 2, it went number 1 for the first time last year, 20 years after its release. So I always just like, fun fact.
Which is surprising that was the first time that it went number 1.
Nnamdi, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about number 3? I know we had an off mic discussion a few weeks ago about Nnamdi's emphasis on lead singles and how he did not think that Positions by Ariana Grande is one of the better
you have
ones.
to expose me whatever I say.
No, I'm just curious, and I'm interested.
It's doing pretty well.
6 months and a half in the top 5, basically.
Okay, I do want to say, all I said is I feel like there could have been a stronger choice on the album. I didn't say that it was a horrible choice.
True.
Which I've walked back to take. WAP, I was wrong. But this one, I feel like I'm only half wrong. Okay. But Positions is still number 3 after 6 weeks, sitting pretty. some would argue that another song on there could have been number 1 for 6 weeks. Some could argue.
True.
Perhaps.
Still a great album too. We're gonna talk about it in a couple. We're gonna talk about it in a couple minutes. Rocker. Yeah, number 4 we have "Rock Around the Tree" by Brenda Lee. Yeah, man, we're just gonna get these Christmas song classic. Oh yeah, classic, of course. We're just gonna get these Christmas songs rolling up on the Hot 100 and Billboard 200. More songs, I would say, honestly, because I feel like people remember songs where they remember like, oh, remember that Christmas album? Like it's songs that really resonate.
Yeah.
With you.
If you have an album that does well, I feel like that is the ultimate power move.
Well, yeah, exactly. So,
am I saying this right? Dakiti?
Kiki.
Yeah,
Number 5, that's
Dakiti.
off of Bad Bunny's new album. I don't want to. I think it maybe it's definitely a single. I don't know if
And
it's
Jay
a
It was
Cortez.
a single, yeah.
Bad Bunny and Jay Cortez. Yeah. So.
Expect more Christmas stuff. I'm not gonna read this, but just know there's a whole bunch of Christmas songs on the Hot 100 too. Feliz Navidad though, that's number 16. A shout out to all the artists who only make bank during the holidays and are happily gonna be seeing royalties and commissions come in.
Well, shout out to
helps out those Christmas gifts.
Yeah,
Huh?
and shout out to Nat King Cole because he's one of the greatest singers in history, and he's an underrated. I don't think he's under like to a lot of people. He's like an underrated Christmas artist. He's incredible. He's incredible. Look at all these. I wrote about all these people. I wrote about all these people.
The song I don't see on here, Noah.
What?
Baby, it's cold outside. People canceled that song. I
wow.
wondered if it was gonna make
let me just Command F that real quick.
Wow. All we see is the baby and Lil Baby.
No baby.
That's the only babies we see.
Good job, people not listening to that song.
So it's Holiday by Lil Nas. Is that a Christmas song? I can't figure that out.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. Yeah.
Noah.
Oh, I got this? Okay, let's get it. Yeah, continuing on our 2020 year-end wrap-up, we'll be doing pop albums this week. This was interesting. I'm glad we did this one next because on our last week, we did R&B and we had a couple projects we felt like could have been like, is this pop? Is this R&B? You know, some things that overlap, which I think is a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I'm glad that we're doing this. So we have a list of, I think, 29 albums, pop albums. We tried to get to 30, but I think these are 29 solid albums we have. You guys want me to go through it really quickly, or do you want me to read through it really quickly? Really quickly.
Yes, but we didn't do albums last time, and I know that may be a lot, but we should. Is that too much? Albums and artists. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through it really quickly, okay? Charlie XCX,
Okay.
How I'm Feeling Now, Ariana Grande, Positions, The Weeknd, After Hours, Taylor Swift, Folklore, Justin Bieber, Changes, Lady Gaga, Chromatica, Miley Cyrus, Plastic Hearts, Katy Perry, Smile, Dua Lipa, Future Nostalgia, Davido, A Better Time, Sam Smith, Love Goes, Burna Boy, Twice as Tall, Kali Uchis, Sin Miedo, Shawn Mendes, Wonder, Rina Sawayama, Halsey, Manic, Selena Gomez, Rare, Haim, is it Haim or is it H-A? Haim. Thank you, Avery. Haim, Woman in Music Part 3, Jessie Ware, What's Her Pleasure, Chloe and Halle, Ungodly Hour, Map of the Soul, 7NB, BTS, High Road, Kesha, Miss Anthropocene, Grimes, Treat Myself, Megan Trainor, Translation, Black Eyed Peas, Disco by Kylie Minogue. Thank you, guys. Carly Rae Jepsen, Dedicated Side B, Perfume Genius, Set My Heart on Fire Immediately, and 3:15:20, Childish Gambino. Everybody gonna think, man, this man cannot read.
Wait, so hold on. A few caveats, because we always have those. So one, this list was hard because I'm discovering that I think pop just may be the broadest genre that exists.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a lot of albums that could potentially be argued as R&B, alternative, that some could argue for pop. Even Taylor Swift, I texted them when Evermore came out and I said, do we add this to the list? And we ultimately decided that it's more so country alternative, so we didn't, but an argument can be made. I realized that all of my favorite artists, all of my favorite Nigerian artists, a lot of them would be considered more so pop than R&B. So that's why you have Davido and Burna Boy on here. So keep that in mind. And then also saying we may have missed people for that very same reason. So like there may be an album that like, you know, could be, you may see an alternative that you think should have been pop, yada yada. It just is gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
this is like what we found.
Yeah, and I think we can find 5 albums here that I think we're gonna make it to. Like we put a lot of albums in here too that we probably won't put on there. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we're showing respect by saying them and putting them on the list. Obviously, of like, you know, showing that they're on here. But yeah, I think we have a solid list to work from in terms of getting our top 5 pop albums of the year, guys. So how do you want to start?
And I can say this week we're prepared because I think between the 3 of us, every single album on this list has been listened to, at least by 2 of us.
I think so. We've listened to y'all the last 4 days. I was at the gym banging fucking. Oh, excuse me.
All right.
Freaking. Oh, you gonna bleep me out now? I was at the gym banging. Shawn Mendes Wonder. I was out and Selena Gomez and Lady Gaga and freaking who else?
Hey, and that guy was pretty good during the gym, wasn't it?
I listen to Megan Trainor, y'all. I listen to Kesha. I listen to Kesha.
Okay,
Kesha.
so guys, to Noah's point, I think we probably do have like at least a 10 we could get to, but I kind of liked how we did it last week about narrowing it down and then having the discussion that way.
Yeah.
So do we want to start? We have 29. Do we want to get to 15?
Okay. Let's get to 20. Let's get to 20.
It's 20. Yeah, 10
Okay,
at a
20,
10 at a time.
Okay, wait. Who's fighting for what? Who wants what?
Well,
Should we
does that
wait?
apply when we're doing this broad?
Okay, so should we wait till we get to 20?
Yeah, wait till we get to 20 and be
Yeah,
like,
that's
okay,
when
guys.
the fighting starts. Because I feel like okay, off rip. I'm just Selena Gomez rare. Is it gonna make it?
Ooh. Yeah, okay, let me say this too for the record. All this pop albums I listened to, none of them were straight garbage to me.
Yeah.
Except maybe one. And I'll let y'all know when.
Well, what's that one?
Oh, Avery knows.
No, what's the one?
Justin Bieber changes.
Oh, that album
Okay,
is
so
not
let's
good.
go ahead and take it off the list.
Yeah, take off Justin Bieber.
Okay, I
And
think
I
the
will
way
say-
also I think let me just say this. I think the way we need to think about this is like instead of thinking like, okay, is this a top 20 out? Let's just think of it, is this a top 5? So that way we're not like randomly like if I don't know, Shawn Mendes is left with 20 left. We're like, oh well, is this top 10? Like let's just think, is this a top 5 album? Just
Yeah,
make it
I
faster.
agree. Yeah, Justin
You
Bieber.
have to
is
entertain
still-
that idea. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Yeah,
I agree.
And let's
Justin
also
Bieber's-
when we're knocking an album out, I feel like let's just try to give a line, even if it's just a simple line about why.
Yeah,
Because last
Justin-
week we were kind of mean.
yeah, Justin Bieber's album was really, I would just say, lackluster songwriting. Honestly, I would say, really lackluster
And
songwriting. Go ahead.
He wanted it to be R&B, but I don't think he has.
He
a
tried
good
on that Kehlani song, which I do like. He tried on that
Yeah.
song, but he didn't do
Young
enough
Eagle.
of it. So sorry, Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Respect though. Avery, how about you knock one out, buddy?
I want to take. I'll throw Katy Perry out. How you guys feel?
Wow.
I think it's another one of a case of like where it's just really familiar to who Katy Perry is, and there's nothing like spectacular that makes it stand out to me. Like I can't think of a song on there right now that was like, oh, like I can remember that song. It's all very.
Cry About It Later is a good gym song. Throwing that out there, but I agree. Sorry.
Okay. Take it out. Now, Nnamdi, is there one? I kind of like this going up. We each kind of take one out. Nnamdi.
Yeah, I like that too.
I like that too. So I like that. So Avery,
Um,
what do you want to take out?
So I'm actually gonna take out unpopular opinion. I'm gonna take out Ungodly Hour because I
Ooh.
re-listened to it and I don't think that's a pop album. I think that's an R&B album, and I think it rightfully was in our top 5.
Yeah, and
I
yeah,
do want to do that.
and this ain't no disrespect because we're in our top 5 R&B albums. So, and people, and shout out to Twitter, they gave us a lot of response on that top 5 list on R&B. We got a lot of likes on that and retweets. So shout out to people
shout
on
out to
Twitter,
Twitter.
liking,
Including Victoria Monet.
and
which-
Victoria Monet too. So that was in our top 5 too,
Very
which is a
believe.
cool moment. She probably won't listen to this, but shout out to Victoria Monet. Let me give another one. Kesha, High Road. Let me just get the ones out that we need to get out. Kesha, High Road. I listened to this surprisingly. Avery was like, "No, you don't have to." I was like, "I listened to it." Dang, Kesha. I feel like she's been out for forever, hasn't it?
She has.
It just, it was just, It wasn't bad, but it was just, I can do without.
Generic, right?
Very, very generic pop album. Yes.
Oh, Avery's next. Okay, I forgot the order.
No, it's fine.
Ooh.
Don't
No, I
think
like
too
this
hard.
little order we're doing. No,
I
you're
like this.
up.
I like this. I like this. Yeah, I
You're
like
up.
this.
Wait, did we already take? How do we feel about Selena Gomez?
Ooh, okay.
I'm
I'm down to take it out. I'm
Okay.
down to take. Did you
And I
listen to
can
it,
tell
Avery?
Not. I don't remember. I don't remember it. No. Do you want to?
Nnamdi, did you listen to it?
I did listen to it, and I can tell you why I think we can take it out. So here's the thing about Selena Gomez's album. It very much so felt like an album that she didn't write. That I imagine there was like other songs that were kind
Well,
of
that's
like.
not. That doesn't make
here's
it
a
bad
pop
though.
song. No, it's not a bad thing, but I think listening to it, you can tell when it's this generic pop, as opposed to my favorite kind of pop is the ones that if you listen to the lyrics, yeah, this is a fun beat, but like they're kind of saying something, even
I
if it's
agree.
about emotion or something.
I agree.
And some of the songs kind of blurred together for me. There wasn't enough that really.
She had a Jordan line on there. She was like 23 Jordan. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. A lot of these albums aren't bad, but definitely not in terms of quality because a lot of songs did blur together.
Rare had a song on it called "Feel Me." I was a fan of that one.
Yeah.
I like that song.
Nnamdi, you got one?
So Actually, I do have one. I just don't know if I like that I have this one. I'm gonna go. Well, actually, no. Miss Anthropocene Rhymes. Is that a pop album?
Yes, Grimes is a pop star. Yeah,
Okay, I didn't listen to it. So does anyone defend
Grimes is
it?
awesome.
Avery,
I
you
like
know-
the
Never mind.
album.
Never mind.
Yeah.
That's contentious. I have another one that's contentious. Okay, so I'm going to say Miley Cyrus Plastic Hearts.
Mm.
And I say this because I listened to this whole album and I went in with hopes because I liked Midnight Sky and I liked that this rock thing she was doing. But it kind of gave me Hannah Montana Part 4. And it was instead of like, I don't think that's what she was going
So
for.
it sounds dated.
Some of the stuff I was listening to and I kind of got that vibe from it. So
Sounds dated.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Another one I'm gonna get out. I don't really have much to say about it. Meghan Trainor. Sorry, girl.
Kudos to you, Noah, for listening.
Yeah, Meghan Trainor.
Where is it? Where'd it go?
18.
Right. 18.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about it. That quote's just gonna be ... Not really much to say
It
about
kind
it.
of came and went. I feel
Came
that
and
album.
went.
I remember the lead
Yeah.
single because it had Nicki Minaj on it, but I don't remember anything else after that.
Nicki Minaj was fine on it.
Will she have like another big hit?
Will she? Yeah, I think she will.
You think so?
Well, she had a holiday song I think that is performing kind of well.
I'll see it have. I can see any of these artists like on any given year just have a pop song that connects
Blows
with
up.
people.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Avery, we're gonna start going faster. So we're down to 20.
And I like our seed. We're at 22.
Yeah.
We have 2 more to get rid of. I'll take. What about Shawn Mendes?
Take it out. I enjoyed it too.
I don't think it's bad. It's definitely good.
Better
But
than Justin Bieber.
it came out like 2 weeks ago also. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I also had the time to digest it in comparison to the rest.
I don't think I'd go back.
Fair. Yeah.
But I do like the song "Yes" of Justin Bieber. I'll say that. I
He
do
can-
like
Yeah, that was good. That was a good song.
Shawn Mendes has a good voice, and I
Yes.
said this on the episode. I remember him from Vine. I know it's random, but I remember him on Vine. He had a come up. Now he's dating Camila Cabello. Are they still together?
Yeah,
They still
the
Cabello.
music's
Cabello. Is it
weirdest-
Cabello? 2 L's. You're right. Now
Music's weirdest couple.
weirdest couple. Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye because it's gonna be me that does this translation. Black Eyed Peas.
Oh, I knew that was.
didn't
I
wanna be
knew it.
the-
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
I don't want
I
to be
knew
the
it.
one
I
who
want to be the guy. I want to be the guy. It had to be you.
I
Nnamdi.
love Black Eyed Peas, but there are not enough songs in this. I think album stuck with me. I liked what they were going for, though. You know, the fully. I think it was all songs in Spanish.
It's Spanish, right?
I don't want to assume because the next thing you know, one of them could have been Portuguese, and I'll get tweets. So, but I just will say, yeah, I just thought, it didn't stick.
Hey, Portuguese.
All right, we're down to 20.
Okay. Ooh.
Let's talk about BTS.
Let's talk about him. Avery Nnamdi. How do you
One.
feel? Be careful with your words, bro.
It's gonna be- Let me preface this. Stan BTS. Stan
Stand him.
Stan John Cook. Stan. Stan. All the.
All of them.
Sugar.
Yeah.
Sugar.
Oh, I know. I know. There's Sugar. There's Monster. Something,
Sugar.
I think.
With the SUG.
There's Jungkook, and then there's like 5 more. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know 3.
Okay, say your piece about that album, though. What you gotta say?
My piece about it is I absolutely will always salute BTS for being able
Absolutely.
to break into the American mainstream.
That's
They have
difficult
now
to
had, their number one. They've had 2 number ones now, I believe.
Two.
Number 1 albums. They are doing amazing things. I think their brand of pop. I can't fault Selena Gomez the way I did without applying that exact same sticker to BTS, which is all their pop songs are kind of like pop candy. Someone else wrote this, you recorded it and danced to it, like highly choreographed pop music, which is fine. It's a form of pop music, but I think for me in my top 5, it's not going to make it.
I agree.
And I think it's kind of also unfair to them because I guess they can't really. It's harder to connect with an audience in that way when you're already trying to like speak in a language that's not your predominant one and record music in that language too. But while I do applaud them, I do not think their albums are going to ultimately make my top 5.
That's fair, Nnamdi.
I'm sorry.
I like that. Oh, okay. Another one. This hurts me too. Oh, this kind of hurts. Oh, I'm not gonna take it there. Oh, this hurts me. Oh, this hurts me. I don't want to say it now because I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to hurt myself now. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to say it. Oh,
Well, if it hurts you that much, are you sure
I'm not
you
gonna
wanna
say
take-
it. There's one I care about more.
I know who you're gonna say. I know exactly who you're gonna say. Is it Cali Issues?
Oh yes. Oh man.
I'm with you.
Oh man.
We all love Kali Uchis.
And I love.
But is it a pop album?
I consider Latin pop. I would consider it Latin pop.
Oh, well, what's your?
Huh?
What was your kind of piece on it? What was your thinking?
I love Kali Uchis, and I think it's just because I love Kali Uchis, but it's not an album that I could see myself going back to by default because the sounds just didn't pull me in enough for me, you know. Because obviously with listening to an album where there's another language, it's not the lyrics are speaking you, and it's kind of like everything else, like her voice as an instrument and the production behind it, and it just didn't pull me in enough. Still enjoyable listen. I still enjoy that album a lot. I still enjoy Kali Uchis. I love Kali Uchis. She's a great artist, but just not enough for me to make the top 5 for us. So sorry, Kali Uchis. I still love you. I still stand. I'm a stand. I will listen to everything. So yeah.
All right. Kylie Minogue. Anybody attached to that?
I was waiting for someone to do that.
Right.
I didn't want to speak on something I didn't have like any background about. So I was like,
it just sounds like old and not like in a good way. Like
old?
No, like old.
Okay,
and, like,
we're not aging, but I will say her peak was 2000, 2001, and I
No,
think
I'm saying no, like the sound of the album is like dated and not in a good way.
Dated.
Like it's not a good, like Dua Lipa did the nostalgia thing amazingly.
Oh, we're gonna get to her. We're gonna wait on her though. I
kind of want to get to her because I don't get.
We're gonna wait.
Okay, sorry, Avery.
Oh, we about to. Oh, I'm gonna fight for that.
I think these are the two opposite ways to do nostalgia well. So.
Wow. But for one, Dua Lipa is a great album. I just don't get the nostalgia piece. I don't feel like I listened to that many songs in there that took me to like.
Let's get to it. Let's get to it later, Avery.
Because it's definitely gonna be in the. It's definitely gonna be in our top 10.
Yeah.
I'm gonna propose. Well, who listened to Haim, Woman in Music?
Oh, I did. It's a good album. I'm not attached to it, the top 5, but I really enjoyed it. I have like songs saved in my playlist.
But then I want you to be the one to take it out. I'm gonna take out Halsey Manic because that album's gotten a lot of praise. I just think it's kind of disjointed, sort of, and I think she's trying to do still kind of do rock and edgy and cool, but I'm not. I think as a pop album, I sometimes kind of.
That's interesting because I could see how you could see it disjointed because I listened to it like literally an hour ago and I was like, wow, this album really has elements of country and rock in it too. And she had a song with BTS, Sugar specifically was on the album too. I respected her for trying something different, trying to be creative. I could see how it could come off as disjointed, Nnamdi. I definitely see that point. I think she did okay for what she did. I didn't feel like she strayed too far off.
I don't think it's a bad album. I think like every set is just like, would this be in my top 5? And I already know my top 5 is.
Yeah, for sure. Ooh, we get into tough territory here, guys. Oh, man. Okay. I got one. It's not gonna make our top 5.
When you did that.
Sam Smith, Love Goes. Okay. I enjoyed this. Honestly, it was a lot more bouncier than I thought. Because with Sam Smith, you just think of, stay with. Yeah. But he had some bouncy songs on here, like Diamonds. That's a great song. I enjoyed that song a lot.
That is a great song. I'm surprised that wasn't bigger, to be honest. That's a great song.
But another thing, I read this in a review too. That song is really carried by the bonus tracks, which is kind of a bad thing too. If like the bonus tracks are better than like the actual proper album, it's kind of a problem. It's still good, but it's kind of a problem for me. So
the Meg Thee Stallion effect.
A little bit, yeah. Dang, yeah, not true. Good point. No, not an offense.
All right, we're down to 15 albums.
Oh.
Okay, well I think we did this last week, so I want to do it again. So our top 15 now, and I'm gonna say kind of top 15 because the way we did this, we narrowed this list down to 15. Charlie XCX, How I'm Feeling Now, Ariana Grande, Positions, The Weekend After Hours, Taylor Swift, Folklore, Lady Gaga, Chromatica, Dua Lipa, Future Nostalgia, Davido, A Better Time, Burna Boy, Twice as Tall, Rina Sawayama, Haim, Woman in Music, Part 3, Jessie Ware, What's Your Pleasure, Miss Grimes, Miss Anthropocene, there you go. Carly Rae Jepsen, Dedicated Side B, Perfume Jesus, Set My Heart on Fire Immediately, March 15th, 20, Childish Gambino. Can we fix Avery? Can we fix that, please? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
My OCD can't handle this. Hold on.
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay.
Is it whose turn is it? Who kicked out a song last?
It was me. Was it me? Or was it Avery?
Yeah, it was you. So Avery, let me see what do you think? This is when it gets hard. There may be
it's me. You picked out. You took out Halsey, so it's my turn.
No, you just did.
You just did Sam Smith. What do you?
Oh, you're right. All right.
I want to preface this. I love this artist a lot. I'm a big fan. but Carly Rae Jepsen, I'm gonna have to kick out.
Oh, okay.
And it's a side B. I don't feel bad.
It's the
Like,
side
come on.
B of her project that came out last year, and this
We
isn't
don't
a
even want to give
Phineas,
us a side A.
this isn't a Phineas situation. This is an entirely like new album.
Oh, let's not get to that conversation.
No, I'm just saying.
Wow,
I'm just
I don't
saying.
think our audience knows what a Phineas situation is. Wait till next week.
I'm just saying.
Exactly.
It's like an entirely new album.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Y'all gonna put Phineas in alternative next week. I'm gonna go crazy. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Avery.
Carly Rae Jepsen makes bangers. She makes great pop music, but it's not my top 5. So.
Okay. Nnamdi.
I feel like I respect and appreciate you guys for leaving this up to me to do. I'm going to say Twice as Tall by Burna Boy. Not because I don't love this album, but because it's really with me trying to figure out pop, I think. And I think, I listened to his album and Davido's album, and Davido gave me more pop, and this sort of gives me. I wish I would have put this in R&B because it sort of gave me more R&B, except for some songs. There's a song with I think Chris Martin that's a clear pop song,
Ooh, that's
right?
good too. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing.
And that
Go ahead,
I want
go
to take
ahead.
it out.
Go ahead,
I don't know
Nnamdi.
anymore.
Well,
Wait,
I want to say this too, because I think a lot of people would be like, wait, Burna Boy and Davido, they're not pop. But I think this is the thing. The only thing that I think is diverting people from not saying it is their voices. They're like, oh, that's not, I think if you took their voices out and put like I don't know, Taylor Swift or, I said Taylor Swift or Lady Gaga on it, people are like, oh, that's pop. I think the sounds of it are pop. Their voices are really, obviously I'm not sure. Burna Boy and Davido, are they both Nigerian artists, Nnamdi?
they are. Shout out to Nigeria.
I would consider them Nigerian pop, which is not a bad thing to me. So
Yeah, they're both definitely Afro pop, definitely not. And I think
Afro-pop.
to your point, it's not. It goes beyond that. It's like anytime, even Latin pop. Sometimes people will struggle to call that pop, right?
Yeah, but it's pop. It's a different language.
But it's pop. But I will say, Burna Boy. I don't know if I'm thinking in solely pop terms. If there is, just take it out. I'm tired of having to do this. It's hard. It's hard enough. Okay.
It's a good project. I think the
It
problem
is
with
a
me
very
for
good
that,
project, and you're probably still going to see songs from it on the playlist. But
the
I
thing
don't
for me
know
with
if
that project was a lot of songs sounded like they could have been the same song to me personally, but still good. So, all right, my turn, guys. Oh my gosh. Whew, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because this is not gonna make the top 5. Childish Gambino, okay? Now, a lot of people are like, wait, Childish Gambino 3-15-20. Oh, Nnamdi wants to fight for this. He gonna fight for this album.
Because I would listen because of you. I would listen because of you.
Now, now, background. We didn't have this on our list originally. We had like our original 20, 30-ish. And I texted the group chat, guys, Childish Gambino's pop, right? And Nnamdi's like, wait, hold up. I gotta reconfigure my whole top 5. Now,
I really did. And after listening, I was like, actually, I think this is a great pop album.
well, it's a really solid album, honestly. And I think it's almost pop by default because I can't see it going R&B. I can't see it going in rap because he's not rapping.
Yeah.
And he has some like rock elements in it too. It's just.
But ask me why I'm gonna support you taking it out. Ask me why.
Ask me. Oh, he's saying, Nnamdi, why are you gonna support me taking it out?
Because he didn't give it no damn titles on the track list.
Just to spite him. Just to spite him.
Just-
No, I just think the pop. If we're talking about like the pop elements of the album, I think these other artists did it better than he did, which is why it's not in my top 5. So.
And you know what? I think that's the point where we're now at, where I think I can definitely say the 12 albums we have left here are all great albums.
Yeah.
Now is the point of, did they do pop better than the other artists that they're now, I guess, getting compared to?
Of course.
All right,
So.
I'm happy to 2020 for introducing me to Perfume Genius because I did not know who they were like before this year, and the album is good, but I can't see myself going back to a lot of the songs on there.
Is it a group?
So I think it's a guy. I think it's one guy.
I'm gonna look it up.
It's a good album, and like the songwriting is very good. But as for like a pop album, I like these other 11 better. So
Yeah, it's just a guy. You're right. It's one guy. Interesting. Okay, Nnamdi. Ooh, I know what you're struggling with, but let's see if he does it.
It's you.
No, Avery I went, and then Avery went. Now it's your turn.
your turn, Nnamdi.
Oh.
I know I know the albums he's struggling with right now, but he's not gonna.
You probably do, because I'm not gonna touch Miss Anthropocene because I want Avery to handle. Avery, is that in your top 5?
No, it's next one.
Okay, then I'm gonna let you handle that.
Hold on.
But I just want to know. But the album that I'm struggling with, and I'm gonna ask you this question because for our viewers, the genres we're separating into weeks, right? R&B, pop, next week's alternative rock, and then rap, and then that's it. Are we lumping country folkish? Where are we lumping that in with? Because Folklore is a damn good album. but I don't think it's a pop. Never thought folklore.
It has pop songs.
Has pop songs,
It
but
has-
this is
It has pop. Yes, it has pop songs. But I feel overwhelmingly, if I look at it, I would call it folk. I
Hold
would
on.
call it country.
I agree,
call-
alternative. And
Even
we talked
alternative,
about
but I
this-
wouldn't.
We
Like indie
talked
rock.
about this on the review too. What episode was that review? I don't remember. What episode was that review?
It was the one with we did a Logic review and
Oh, go back
Logic
and listen.
Oh, episode 8. Episode 8. Go check that review out we did of Taylor Swift
Wow,
Folklore.
now we're on 26.
I know it's crazy, but I do have, and we mentioned this too. Remember when we were reviewing that? It was like, wow, the first thing we thought of was Phoebe Bridgers. We was like,
Yeah.
oh, she's trying to do a Phoebe impression, kind of, except not as well, but still really good, right? And
such a
what category is Phoebe going to be in? Alternative. So I think
Alternative.
Did y'all see the tweets comparing them?
really, I
They
didn't
said,
see that.
they said like Phoebe Bridgers is Taylor Swift for girls who have crumbs in their bed. Or
Well, that's wow. Well, that's why I would say Taylor Swift's album will come in next week. Okay, you guys agree with that? We'll be on the list. It'll
I
be on
agree
that
too.
for the
And
running next
hey,
week.
if there's one album I'm gonna fight for, I'm gonna let you know now.
Folklore.
It's gonna be folklore. That's a good
Hey,
album.
that's a good album. It's a good album.
all right, we're down to 10.
Woo. I
Do we need
think
to do another reread or are we fine?
I think we're good.
I think we're good, and I don't think we have to do the thing now where we're like we go one by one because I think we're getting down to the nitty gritty, and this is where the arguments really start.
I think
All
if
right,
anything
wait,
now,
so
that's
who's fighting for what? Who's
Ooh, want me to-
advocating for
Okay,
what?
you want me to say what I'm advocating for first?
Sure.
Yes.
I feel
Okay.
very strongly about 2 on here.
I feel strongly about 2 on here too. It's kind of okay. There's 2.5. Okay.
I feel very strongly about like 4, so I don't know how you're gonna do this.
Okay, I'll go first about the albums I feel strongly-ish. Okay.
Okay.
Dua Lipa, Future Nostalgia. I feel really strongly about that album. That album is actually damn near perfect. I'm not lying. Seriously, that album is damn near perfect. It's concise. It's and every song is a banger. And it's the lyrics. She's singing her you know what off. She's singing. The obvious, The Weeknd, After Hours. I gave the album a listen this week. I was like, dang, The Weeknd just the man. That dude is
Really is.
just the man. And this is my default because I was defending it on even though we did like the album. Ariana Grande positions. I'm a defender. I don't care what y'all say. I'm gonna defend Ariana Grande positions. I'm gonna defend that album. I still like that album. I don't care
And
what
for
y'all
that
say.
review, go back a couple episodes and watch Noah give it the highest score of the 3 of us.
8.5 exactly.
My 2
Everybody.
that I feel so strongly about. Obviously, The Weeknd. These are actually both of these albums. You'll see on a later list of a personal one of mine at the end of the
Oh
year.
yeah, they will. I already know. We already know.
The Weeknd and Charlie XCX. Like I will go to war for that. I literally love that album. I think it's the most interesting pop album out of all 29 of these albums. I think it's the most experimental of all 29 of these albums.
Agree with that.
So I love how I'm feeling now as a pop album and also like as like a time capsule as well.
Interesting. Nnamdi, you have 4. Avery named 2. I named.
Avery's gonna turn on me this episode. We're gonna get to it later. But
Oh, we
Avery,
gonna
I
get
don't
to it.
get how I'm feeling now. I'm sorry. I listened to it and I don't get it. And
Don't
I
talk.
wanted
Hold
to
on. Don't talk about it now. Nnamdi, don't talk about it now. Let's
No,
go
I
get to
know.
it.
I know we're gonna get there. But for the sake of the narrative we're in, Avery, I wanted it for you. I listened to that album so many times, like I'm gonna
Oh,
feel
it's making our top 5
later.
It's gonna be in our top 5. It's gonna be.
Let's see.
We're gonna see.
We'll see.
I'm gonna be honest. We can put the Weeknd in there now because I'm advocating for After Hours.
Is that
too.
our
It's gonna
first
be in
like
the top
lock?
5.
Is the
Yeah,
Weeknd our
Weeknd's
first
a
like
lock.
lock?
I think the Weeknd can be our first lock.
Yeah.
Future
Weeknd's a
Nostalgia is a great album, yes, but you guys know I have to advocate for Chromatica 2. Let's just come on. And then I'm gonna have to go ahead and say, I really want Davido on here because I want Afropop to have some live, and it's so good though. Did y'all listen though? It's so good.
We listened.
But are y'all gonna give it a chance to be in our top 5? I need
Um,
at least 2 people.
now, since we're getting down to the top 5, and we're talking about albums that are really amazing at this point, there's albums on.
Yeah,
here.
okay, and I do want to say the last 2 is both Jessie Ware and Rina Sawayama had amazing albums.
Oh my gosh, they're so good.
amazing albums.
So good.
Amazing albums. That's the last thing I'm gonna say. But we can continue.
I was just gonna
Now,
say
what
with
were you saying?
DeVito, compared to like Charlie XCX. Oh, no, I'm not gonna say that because that's.
Well, that's a hard
but-
comparison for me because we have
Yeah,
to.
I'm saying with DeVito, like the Dua Lipa and like DeVito or something like that. Like DeVito's album wasn't as flawless. I don't think you would argue it's flawless. Okay, Nnamdi, would you argue
It
that
wasn't
album is
flawless,
DeVito?
okay.
It's not like Avery. No matter how you care about Charlie XCX, Avery can argue that Charlie XCX is flawless. It's flawless. Weekend is the After Hours is flawless.
Okay,
you know?
But how could I now argue that Davido's flawless?
But you just said it's not. You just said it's not. You just
Well,
said it's
because
not.
I don't think any album is flawless, to be honest with you. But
Okay,
that's
but
why
but I think but I'm saying with like Dua Lipa, I think every song on there is great. Do you think every song on Davido's album is great? Just say no. You already said no, so just say it again. It just
has a
no,
Chris,
no,
has,
no, no,
has a Chris
no.
Brown feature that I skip.
Lil Baby feature that I skip every time. I was like, what the heck is
That
this?
Little Baby feature? That song is so good. The Little Baby song
I don't
is so
need it.
just take
I
it
don't
off.
need it. I don't need
Okay,
it. I don't
okay,
need it.
Davido, please know that I was here to fight for you, and you're gonna be my honorable mention. So I kind of want him to
That's
get
fine.
6. I call him an honorable mention, but I guess. Well, can
Wait,
we
are
get
we
rid of
taking-
Grimes first?
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm okay getting rid of Grimes and Haim, even though I do really like both those albums.
Okay.
Okay, now,
Grimes.
now we're getting somewhere.
Avery, how do you say that that album? Wait a second. Is it
Misanthropocene.
Yeah. Okay.
I really Haim made a great album. I have songs saved from it.
All right,
as
we are
well as
down-
Grimes.
Is it a clear pop though at Avery? I kind of lump them in like where I would put folklore in my brain, and I don't know if that's unfair.
It's
but is
like-
it like a
yeah.
clear pop album?
I'd say so. It's pop.
Okay.
Like
we're down to
like
8 albums.
like well, okay, we'll talk off mic.
We're
I'll
down
just
to
listen.
We're down to 8 albums. So Nnamdi, do you still feel strongly about Davido? Davido, excuse me. I'm sorry about that. Davido. For top 5, Nnamdi. Think about it.
There's only one. There's two men in our top 8. The pop girls kind of kill it. Like
Of course.
the
They're
dudes
better.
like don't really touch.
That's fine though.
No, it's incredible.
Okay. I am okay with getting rid of Davido if we also get rid of Positions. Because Positions is not a top 5 pop album for this year. Let's kind of get rid of the charade here. It is a great album.
I know Noah feels the most the strongest about Positions, but I'm fine with that.
The collusion begins. Wait, with
Collusion.
it being in the top 5?
I know I'm fine with taking out Positions too, because like I'm
great.
looking at I can find 5 albums here that I like better than Positions. As
That's
much
what it
as and I do think Positions is a good album, and I think it also has gotten better since our review.
Yes, it has.
So,
Avery, to your exact
Okay.
point, that's what makes it so
All
difficult. That's what makes it so difficult with these like
that
pop
weekend,
R&B albums.
that weekend song
It's
is still
like-
boring, but
Okay, yeah, I get you that, but like
Gosh, I love Motive though.
the motive. Look at my hair. My
And I
hair.
love Link.
My
Okay,
hair.
but here's
Point of view, point of view.
Noah. Let me do this.
I'm gonna name songs now. Listen to Point of View and come back. That's all.
No. Here's what I'm gonna do though, and I'm using your exact same argument. It is a great album, but it is not flawless. And between Nasty, even I think West Side.
off the
Oh,
table.
West Side's good. West Side's good. Whoa,
West Side's- Off the Table is bad.
Well, no, I love Off the Table.
He
but
said West
between,
Side. West Side's a
some
banger.
days of the week. Some days of the week, 34, 35.
That's a
There's
good
enough
song,
songs
too.
on there.
That's a good-
Hold on,
You naming the good songs, bro. What's up with you? You naming the good songs.
No, I'm just saying, like, as far as like the songs that I think that album is not no skips, is what I'm saying.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We can take it out. I still.
There's
do
not
like
many
that album.
bad songs between these 8 albums.
No, yeah, for sure. I think
So
we have to.
now,
Well-
I think my thing is if the thing is now flawless,
Yeah.
right.
But
That's
yeah,
where I'm
for
trying
sure.
to like.
Yeah, for sure.
So-
And we are like splitting hairs, and that's what we have to do when we're getting the top 5 pop albums. We were splitting hairs, so I don't mind positions.
Okay, so Davido can go too.
Yeah,
Okay.
that means he can go too. That's why I was about to say that. So that means
This is
Davido
a much
can go
more productive conversation we had last week.
too. Oh, is this only? Does that mean only 6 albums left?
I
now?
think we have one more now or 2. I don't
Uh-oh.
know. Oh, we have one. Oh, my God.
Oh, Spaghetti-O. I know what Nnamdi's gonna fight for. Spaghetti-O.
Oh, no, I actually think this is. I don't think this is. I'm gonna say this now. If Avery gets Humphrey, now I'm getting Chromatica. So let's get that out of the way now.
Oh, hold on.
Okay,
Hold up. Time out. Okay, let's put the albums that are in there. So, Dua Lipa is making it, right? Dua Lipa.
I would think so.
I think so.
I think objectively it is like one of the
an
best.
amazing album, and even I can't lie about it. It was so good.
Yeah, why?
Okay.
And I want to do what you just did. Let's talk about why that album may be on here. I'll admit this. That album, out of everyone on this list, is probably the most cohesive, concise, kind of, and because of that, there's not really any misses. I don't skip songs on that album
good thing.
because it's a
It's a good
37-minute listen anyway.
It's great. Listen.
So yes, we can lock
Good and Bad, Boys Will Be Boys. Man.
Cool.
I like Cool. Yeah, I like pretty. What's it called? Pretty Please.
Pretty Please. Even Levitating. I know Levitating's the hit, but even that one's a banger.
Physical's my jam. I used to be in the gym, so like
we name it every song. It's a great album.
Is that all of them?
Okay, now let's talk about this. Now Avery, I'm about to come to your defense. Okay, Nnamdi. I listened to Charlie XCX. I pushed play. Okay, and when I heard it, I was like, this is not what I expected. Nnamdi, and now we're speaking on this from people who aren't, stans like Avery is, but no, but you're a stan of this album. Yeah. Avery, Nnamdi, you would agree this is a loud album. That's a loud album. Like it's like the noises. Like if you listen to your headphones died. You're like, oh,
I have to turn it down a little bit.
It turned down a little bit. Now this is the thing though. Now for me personally, it wouldn't be my personal like, oh my gosh, this is an amazing album, but there are people in that category that I've heard and listened to that people think are incredible, and I could definitely see why Avery finds that album really incredible. I definitely see his reasoning, and I do think it's deserving. Now, personally, I want to be, but I definitely think it's deserving. It's very creative. I want to say. My
question to you. Here's my question.
Go ahead.
If you wouldn't do it personally, what about it to you makes it deserving beyond Avery loving it so much? Because we're gonna have to have the same discussion with Chromatica in 5 minutes. So I just want to preempt this.
Well, this is the thing. I think we can all do this too. I think there's an ability to appreciate something without being like a fan of it, necessarily. And I definitely appreciate the sounds that she's doing and how creative she is with it. And just because I personally don't like it, don't mean I necessarily think it's bad or terrible. Like there's movies I think are like, oh, it's not just for me, but I still think it's incredible. You know what I'm saying, like that. So I think it's deserving. Avery's like, of course. Nnamdi, how do you feel?
Okay. Oh, to like lock it in now. Okay, so here's okay.
Just be blunt. It's not for you.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say. I get that argument. Like, okay, people have called it a great album, but for me, it's like I typically trust my ear, right? Mm-hmm. And I get the things that make the album good, right? Like I get. Okay. How do I say this? If I look at the track list, right, I can say that like, okay, Party for You, only song, I saved that. Great song, right? But I'm not sure every single song on here I feel that way about. So it's hard for me to like, if it goes in the top 5, I want us to be clear, it's because Avery loves it so much. It's not because we all listen to it and we're like, okay, oh, it's great. It's because the love Avery had for it was so strong that it engulfed the 97 demo, which is fine, but let's call a spade a spade. And I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, like, it kind of is what it is. I understand I can appreciate the fact that she did it in quarantine, and she was one of the first people to do one of these quarantine drops, and that no song sounds bad. I'll say that. And
I do want to say this too. It kind of, even though the album is really loud, it kind of represents how she's feeling during quarantine, because this was like the beginning parts of quarantine,
which was the theme,
which makes it an incredible album. And even when you look at the music videos, it makes the album even better. Because like it's her recording on a low camera, and it's like her thoughts are everywhere. It's like
the first line of Anthems, I think, is "I'm so bored."
She's in her head, and the lyrics represent that, the music video represents that.
Can I propose, since we only have 4 other albums we have to get through, I kind of like us doing this for like the remaining songs, unless we're like really pressed on time. I mean, the remaining albums, like this little like discussion we just had.
Definitely going fast to R&B. We definitely are.
So do we want to talk about? Okay. Do you want to talk about Chromatica? Are you ready? Who wants to?
I'm
not gonna have to.
Ready.
Nnamdi, talk about it first.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm more so curious. So I kind of want to take a step back and hear how you two would talk about it, and then, because right, I listened to that album for nostalgia. It reminds me of both old Lady Gaga while also feeling like new Lady Gaga in my eyes. Like it feels, and I'm a big guy on writing, and I really think she has probably the best writing of any album on this list. If you listen to the actual words she's saying, it's like behind this pop music, there is very much so substance. And that's what I appreciate about the music I listen to. So that's gonna be my argument for it, but I'm kind of curious to what you guys would say about it if Nnamdi wasn't here.
Avery, give it a go. Give it a go, Avery.
I liked it, obviously. It's in our top 6. I also think it deserves a spot in the top 5 as well.
What you saying? You think it does?
I think it does. I'm not arguing against this album. Like I won't do that. Like I like it, and I know Nnamdi loves it. You're absolutely right about it like sounding like older Lady Gaga music, because that was the first impression that I got. I was like, oh, like what's it called? Fame Monster? Was that the name of it?
You know what it's called, yeah.
Yeah.
That. You know what it's
And
called.
I was like, yeah, this kind of sounds like some of these songs were like, oh, that could be off of like Fame Monster. Like I could hear this playing next to like Poker Face or one of those other songs that she had. You know what I mean? I like the album. I'm not arguing. I'm not going to argue against it being in the top 5.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily against it being in the top 5. I gave it a listen. It was a good. Lady Gaga has a really. That's the thing. That one thing I have to say about Lady Gaga too. Now you guys tell me if I'm wrong. I think the thing with pop artists and pop singers is their voices kind of all sound the same sometimes, which is why sometimes it doesn't appeal to me. So like for example, somebody like Selena Gomez and like give me another artist, Selena
Halsey.
Gomez and Halsey. Their voice doesn't differ that much in terms of pop artists. Now Lady Gaga, that's the thing though. Her voice is strong. She has a strong voice. You know, usually with pop artists, they have really. And I agree with you, Nnamdi. Her voice and her lyrics are really good. So I'm not opposed to Lady Gaga being in the top 5, honestly.
Okay, well that wasn't. I thought there was going to be far more conflict.
Yeah, we thought he was going to come at you.
So can we,
Well,
we're
can
gonna
we
lock.
talk about?
We're gonna lock Lady Gaga. If we're all okay with it.
Oh, I mean, if you guys are down, I mean, I don't want to push.
Nnamdi. Now I do have to ask you this though. Just to be frank. Now we talk about that. I'm just like, Nnamdi, you love that. I'm just like, well, to be frank, I listen to it for nostalgic purposes. He was like, we're like, for nostalgia. So as the album, as it is, by itself, not comparing it to other forms.
Well, yeah, and that's definitely a great question, and I feel like that's what I just like. The first thing I said was, it gives me old but also new Lady Gaga. I think the album itself is very much so different than every kind of other album. Charlie XX is definitely the most creative, right? But I think it sounds different than I think Sawayama and What's Your Pleasure, or in like some of the other pop albums that came out this year. And I do like some of the songs individually. I like, the features she got on it. I think it's a good album. I'll say that. So ultimately, it's going to come down to either Rina Sawayama or Jessie Ware. And it's hard because I think both of those albums were great. I was just put on to both of those with this, and I immediately knew they were going to be in the top 5 discussion for me. I know which one of those 2 albums I'm picking, right? Because I've been looking, while y'all were just talking, I was looking at the track list, and I made my hard decision.
I think I know which one I'm ready to kick out as well.
Okay, which one are you guys? Because I didn't listen to these 2 guys. So tell me what you guys are more, because it's kind of down to you 2 guys too. Because you guys, and obviously in the ranking of like pop like hierarchy in this between the 3 of us, I'm at the bottom.
Yeah, you're at the bottom.
So can I lock in Lady Gaga and Charlie XCX?
Yes.
Okay.
Nnamdi's happy. Nnamdi thought it was gonna make it. He didn't think it was gonna make it.
Well, no, I'm looking. It's the same way. Charlie XCX is my Thundercat. I feel this way now.
No, it's your JoJo. It's your JoJo.
Like, oh, I like that.
Okay, so out of these last 2 albums, we have Rina Sawayama and Jessie Ware, What's Your Pleasure. When I really, really love both these albums, and I'm gonna listen to them well into 2021, like both of them. But when I think of which one I think had like a more consistent pop sound and one that I enjoyed more consistently and wouldn't skip around, I would keep Jessie Ware's album.
Lock it in. I was gonna say the same thing. And I wanted to say this. Rina Sawayama's album is so good, but
so
I
cool.
think Avery couldn't have summed up how I feel about it better, because I feel that exact same way.
Like I was listening to Rina Sawayama's album and I was like, oh my god, this is a rock song. Like there's like there's loud guitars right here. Like it's awesome.
So I haven't listened to it, but from hearing what I say, will it possibly make the alternative list just to be in contention?
No, I don't think so. Like I still think it's a straight pop album.
Okay.
But it has like rock album. I'm like, oh, like this sounds like a rock song, like arena rock. Like it's
There's a song on there called Akasaka Sad that I like a lot, just because of Akasaka Sad. Saying that sounds fun.
It's so cool. Like it's a cool album, but I enjoyed Jessie Ware's album just like that much more.
Jessie Ware's album, I could only describe as like ethereal, perhaps.
Yes.
You put it in, close your eyes, and just you feel like you're in an 80s disco bar or something. Like it's just it's great.
So do we want to put Sawayama in our
That's my honorable mention. That's my honorable.
That's my. I mean, I think what we've been doing. I think that. And what's the last album we took out?
Well, no, because last time we did it like we each got one, and last time we both had.
Oh, okay, and we just happened to have the same one. I remember. Go ahead.
Yeah. So if I were to pick one, honestly, let me look at my personal top 5. Even though, let me see personal. Okay.
Akasaka
I think for me personally, I put positions. That album gets better every time. I really enjoyed it. She did start to put R&B a little bit, but she didn't go too straight away far from it. I hope she does an R&B album eventually, like straight through R&B album. But she only had a couple songs of that, so I still think it's a pop album, and I really enjoyed it. So
Mine is Rina Sawayama personally.
You too, Nnamdi?
You already know what mine gonna be. Go put my boy Davido on that honorable mention.
Okay.
The Nigerian spotlight.
What's the name of his album again?
Better Time.
Better Time. So you think Davido's album is better than Burna Boy?
Oh, it's a Better Time. I love them both. I just think Burna Boy,
it was longer.
Burna Boy's actual sound gives me less pop than Davido's does, and that's the way I try to think of it. Beyond like he has songs on it that are straight pop, but I think the overall album gave me more rhythm and blues.
Okay, Avery, after you write them all down, list them like you did last time.
Sure. Keep talking like a minute, just 1 more minute.
Yeah, so I think part of the discussion that I really appreciated was, I like that we didn't even talk about The Weeknd, but he deserved a spiel. The Weeknd's album.
Talk about it right now.
It very much so rightfully was taken out of R&B, which I agree with after listening to it, but it is a damn good album. And I just hate that the Grammys didn't see that, because like between just not even looking at anything, but between Blinding Lights, of course, After Hours, the song, of course, Hardest to Love, Scared to Love, both of those two are like kind of 80s-ish, but like equally amazing. Like, I'm not sure there's a skip, but definitely of the pop songs, In Your Eyes, Save Your Tears, like I don't think there's any skips. I think it was a very good album, and hopefully, it gets the attention.
It definitely deserves that attention, of course. And
I can also say that like I'm never good at picking up concepts in albums, and like The Weeknd, I know there's a story throughout that album. Like
always a story,
I can tell what the story is. I know what's happening. This is the first album where I was able to be like, okay, Abel and The Weeknd are two separate people. The Weeknd is this crazy character that he plays. This drug addicted, like sex addled, like
sex addict,
like
enables the emotionally fragile man within him.
Where he doesn't care about the consequences of his actions.
Exactly. And so this is the first album where I'm like, okay, they're two separate people, and I can see who's going through this like really heartbreaking story and really messed up story as well.
Yeah,
it's so sad because it's about heartbreak.
Yeah, it's like his girl, he cheats with his girl, and then they try and get back together. It's insane.
Oh yeah, and I want to speak on it too, because like The Weeknd, even though like as a Weeknd fan, I'm a fan, but this isn't my favorite version of The Weeknd. I would say like I really love. I'm really like, I know this is really like a really not a hot take, but I'm really a big fan.
Everyone says trilogy. You about to say trilogy?
Yeah, but that is my favorite version of The Weeknd, which is not. I'm not saying The Weeknd, but that's my favorite version. That's when I started to like him. But I definitely agree with Avery in terms of. And that's the thing. A lot of his albums are about heartbreak. He just like kind of doesn't care, and he just gets lost in drugs and alcohol and women and sex. To be frank, so I do think it's an incredible album. There's no skips on here. It's pop album, but he infuses elements of trap in it too, and 80s pop too, which is really awesome. Even like Chicago Drill, I remember someone was like, "Yeah, this song has some Chicago." He's great. So yeah, we can.
And like, I want to emphasize the biggest thing I appreciate about it. You cannot point to a single album that came out this year that sounds anything like it.
Yeah,
he made his own sound for this album, and I'm done talking about the Grammys.
Okay. So can we for 97 demos, top 5 pop albums of 2020 in no particular order. Yeah. We have Charli XCX, How I'm Feeling Now, The Weeknd, After Hours, Lady Gaga, Chromatica, Dua Lipa, Future Nostalgia, and Jessie Ware, What's Your Pleasure? And our honorable mentions are Ariana Grande, Positions, Rina Sawayama, and Davido, A Better Time.
Good job, guys. This was good. Another good week. I think we did.
Wait, can you scroll up to the Grammy noms? I know I just said I'm done talking about them. I just like comparing.
Yeah. The best
traditional, not even close, because I don't really understand what does traditional pop mean. Come on.
Really from the 90s. From the 90s, I don't know.
I didn't listen to any.
Shout out to Renee Zellweger though.
Harry Connick Jr.
Yeah, we got 2 actors on here. Harry Connick Jr. and Renee Zellweger.
Well, Harry Connick Jr. is a talented artist. He's a talented guy.
I guess the category that applies here, best pop vocal, right?
Best pop vocal, we got Changes by Justin Bieber, Chromatica by Lady Gaga, Dua Lipa by, I said Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa, Fine Line by Harry Styles, and Folklore by Taylor Swift.
And let me just say, the only album on here that makes 0 sense is Changes. But as far as like Fine Line, if that would have came out this year, you probably would have seen me argue for it.
Yeah.
Folklore, I get an argument could be made, even though we didn't.
She's a popular artist, so I get why she's in the category. They didn't do bad, and Dua Lipa's project is just incredible in my opinion.
I hope that wins, honestly, out of these 5.
Changes is just
changes on here. I don't understand.
I don't.
And I'm not even hating on Justin Bieber because hey, I love journals, okay?
Well,
and I like Purpose. But
he has good
changes-
projects. This wasn't it.
This wasn't it.
It felt like he just put something out. I don't feel like he wanted to make this album personally. I don't feel like he wanted to make this album. That's how I feel about
Because
it.
how is
But,
After Hours not on here, but Changes is? I know I say this every week. I just get so mad when I think
I
about it
agree.
all over again. Okay,
I
let's
agree.
project
I
the
agree.
week.
All right, so project of the week, guys. Should I go first? I think I usually go first. I'm a stan. Brent Faiyaz. What can I say? Brent Faiyaz, Saunders' son, his 2017 project. I'm pretty sure this was his first proper album. It's 12 tracks, all great. Yeah, man, Saunders' son, Brent Faiyaz. Some songs that I think you should listen to, I would say, are, oh, this is tough. Gang Over Love, LA, Talk to You, So Far Gone.
No, let's just go listen to the whole album.
Nah, there's 12 tracks, so I named like 3 or 4, but yeah.
Avery, you want to go or want me to go? I'll just go because I'm talking.
Okay.
I chose Fine Line by Harry Styles for the reason I just said. If it came out in 2020, it came out December 2019. So I remember it was the first song to debut on the 2020 charts. But I mean, I'm sorry, it was the first album to debut at #1 on the Billboard 200 in 2020. But it's a really good album, and you know, props to my guy Harry. I think it's solid. I'm trying to pull up the track list so I can like give you something, but my computer's acting up, so I'll just tell you. She, great song, probably my favorite song on there. If you liked Woman on his first one, I think they're similar in my brain. There's Watermelon Sugar, of course, that was big. There's a song called Lights. I was about to say Lights Please, but that's not what it. That's J. Cole. Lights Up, I think. Very solid album, and I believe it has a record for most vinyls sold this year. So he has that going for him too. So that is what Nnamdi has to say for Product of the Week.
I think, did you say vinyls?
Yeah, vinyls.
Vinyls. It's okay. It's okay.
I say some words wrong. That's one of them.
We're working through it. Avery.
Mine, it's finals time. I'm stressed. I need like comfort listening. I need things that I like really love, and so my project of the week is Trench by 21 Pilots. Came out in 2018. I'm a big 21 Pilots fan. I don't really know what else to say about it. It's a great album. It's like their best album. So,
what song should I listen to?
I'll throw them on the playlist. But Chlorine, Levitate,
Chlorine.
Jumpsuit.
We're going swimming.
What else? Pet Cheetah is a cool
Levitate
song.
Chlorine.
I'm excited.
This is the thing about Avery's favorite artist. They got some cool names. There'd be some random name for songs.
Did you
Like
say
Pet
Hot
Cheetah.
Cheetos?
Pet Cheetah.
Oh,
It's
Pet
like, what?
Cheetah.
Hot Cheetos. Oh my god.
Okay, well, no, perfect segue again. Look forward to the 97 Number playlist. We're gonna do what we did last week and make 2. So we'll have a best of pop based off of some of our favorite pop songs this year playlist. Then we'll also have our traditional new releases, great songs, you know, podcast curated into a playlist.
Yeah.
97 demos coming out on Monday and probably Wednesday, respectively.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that. Gentlemen, any final thoughts? Ready to
Next
go?
week we will be doing alternative and rock, you know that stuff.
And perhaps we'll have a special guest.
Perhaps we'll have a special guest. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
we're crossing our fingers.
Hopefully. I really shouldn't have said that.
Well, no, I'm saying hopefully. We're not saying it's gonna happen, but hopefully we have a special guest that'll host with us, similar to Sydney. Shout out to Sydney. So yeah, this is a really good week, guys. It was fun. We're getting better at
All right,
this.
see you.
So yeah.
Bye.